Hello, everyone, and
Hello,
welcome to the final six,
hello, cruel world.
now turned final five. Y'all, I lost to Trista. We're gonna mourn that loss. Um, Justin put it so poignantly in the jury chat. I've never cackled so hard on the subway, where he goes, robbed. Well, maybe not robbed, but queen. And yes, that like perfect, like correct on every front of the matter. Um, Trista, a legacy that will go beyond this game. We'll talk more in depth once
We go
we
beyond
get
this
to
game.
her. But yeah, we've got a final five to talk about.
Oh, yes, we do.
I wouldn't say I'm excited to talk about them, but I am intrigued. I think there's a lot of like dynamics at play.
Okay,
Um,
we're gonna go as fast as possible because we're really late, and so we're just gonna get started.
yes. Okay.
Adrian, we're starting with Adrian again.
Starting with Adrian again, a huge plot twist for the season, starting with Adrian. Um, okay. Adrian, this is actually the most up I've been feeling on Adrian all season. Now that like we over the last 3 weeks, we've seen Bryce, Ryan, Jen, and Justin go home. Those were like arguably four of like the biggest frontrunner power players that the game had seen. We are respectfully to the group that's left, really left with like what's left, and that's great. Um, but Adrian is someone that like clearly based off of my rankings and takes, I've not been super impressed with. And I am definitely more impressed with him currently. I do think that now that we're down to the numbers, a lot of people do see more value in him, and I do see him actively strategizing and sharing opinions more, which I am very pleased with. He's got good relationships, honestly, with everyone left in the game except for Trista, who did go home. So that is good for him. The biggest thing that is fighting against him is unfortunately the fact that I think it is far, far too little too late to start doing like averagely good things. Um, so I will not be docking his score. I was at a four last week. I'm going to be at a four again this week because he is playing well, in my opinion. But I do stand by the fact that I don't see a world where he wins this game. And because of that, I cannot not be in a red score. So it'll be a four for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at a four as well. The same thing. I think he started to really get connected with what's going on, and is now being used as a valuable number. But I think it's too late for him to have any semblance of winning, especially now with Trista out of the game. Um, I think Trista could have been one of the people he might have had a shot against, but now I really don't know. So, oh great. So, oh my gosh.
Your screen isn't changing, by the way.
It's what?
It's not changing.
Yeah, I know. There we go. Okay.
There we go. Look at that.
Okay. Andrew.
Andrew. Um, I'll start by speaking positively. Like I do see that Andrew has really been trying to put in the work of talking with Isaiah, kind of building up that relationship isn't the right term, but I think Andrew knows that like if I win HOH, I'm gonna have to make two nominees, and they're not Isaiah because Isaiah is respectfully not a threat. He also does have a good relationship with Adrian, and I think Adrian actually like would plan on taking Andrew further, which I think is a little crazy, but also then again, any plan for Adrian is crazy at this point. He just kind of loses. So there's that. There's that I will give Andrew his kudos for. The downside is the fact that I think literally not even the minute, the millisecond that Andrew does not win his own safety, he's out of the game. In addition, I don't even think if he wins his way to the end that the jury is dying to vote for him because no shade, Andrew, socially and strategically, I don't think it has all been there compared to the other three people that you could possibly be up against, again, aside from Adrian. I think Andrew would have the best shot against Isaiah, but I do think he just kind of clean out loses to Rachel and Zoe. Um, and I do think that Isaiah could honestly possibly beat him too with the votes of people like Bryce and Justin, and in that scenario, Rachel and Zoe. Um, I don't know. Um, so I'm debating of whether or not I stay at my three or I go down to my two, do a two. Um, and I'm gonna end up staying at my three. I think he won the veto, BB Comics, a huge win. It's certainly, I don't not see the path for him to win out to the end. So because I am like confident in the cop skills, I'm not gonna drop my score. So I'm gonna give Andrew another three though, unfortunately.
I'm going to be at a three as well. He honestly is probably going to have to win out or get close to winning out to have a shot at making the end. And I think this is a big win for him, allowing him to get into the final five. But he's on borrowed time, like Isaiah in his comic. Um, so for him as well. Okay. Isaiah.
Isaiah. Isaiah is without a doubt the most interesting person to talk about this week. Um, Jen is gone. We lost Justin. Isaiah is in a really interesting position. Let's get this out of the way. Isaiah is convinced that like he's gonna win this game. Isaiah, I'm here to tell you that you are deluded, front to back, absolutely deluded. Not that I don't think you can win, but like you are certainly bottom half of the jury's priorities, in my opinion, and definitely socially not in the best position. Um, the reason he hasn't gone up is because he's practically like outwardly like begging people to not go up, but at the same time is trying to make it seem like he's not and like is actually trying to make deals, but everyone just kind of sees through it. Um, and it's kind of that balance of like everyone sees through what you're doing, doesn't like it, but at the same time, they're not putting you up. And I don't think that Isaiah has no legs to stand on at the end. I'd be curious as to what his final argument is. Because right now, his intended plan is to go to the final two with Rachel. I think that plan is crazy because, I mean, his plan is to go to the final three with Rachel and Zoe. That's even crazier because, in my opinion, both of them should sweep him. Um, and secondhand, he plans on taking Rachel, who, as I said in the draft and leading up to this point, this girl knows how to win. I've seen her give a finale speech. He's seen her give finale speeches. Why would you want to go against Rachel? I'm very confused in that fact. Um, but all to say, he's not being put up. He's making inroads. I do see him surviving further, but I just don't know what his chances are because I don't think he has once in this game ever actually set himself up for what could be the most amount of success. Obviously, if he makes it to the end, I can't dock him that much. But I'm just confused as to what path he's trying to give himself. I will certainly be raising my score for this week at the final six. I will give him a five. And we're going to see where it goes from there. So that's where I'm at.
I'm going to give him a five as well. I mean, like he is deluded, but like is he? He's still here in the final five, and he doesn't seem to be like a clear target for anyone else. While there are still very huge targets in the game, I think he doesn't have the worst shot to make it to the end and potentially win. So I think a five is a very good score for him right now, to be
I
honest.
think he's got a fairly good shot to make it to the final two tier. Like if I had to bet on someone that like might be in the final two, Isaiah is honestly someone that like I do my gut tells me, honestly, that we are going to end up with either a Rachel Isaiah final two or a Zoe Isaiah final two. Like that is what my gut is telling me. No shade Isaiah in both scenarios. I hope he ends up as the loser.
As the runner
But
up would be
we'll
nicer.
see.
As the loser. Okay, Rachel.
I I am impressed. I really hate to say it, but I am impressed. The reason why I hate to say it, and this is not meant as shade to Rachel. In fact, it's not at all because she's quite honestly controlling this game the most, in my opinion, right now. Um, but at the end of the day, like the person that's playing the best is playing the best on their season. Do I think that Rachel's style of gameplay on most other seasons that we've seen would be this successful? No, I don't. However, who's to say that if Rachel was on another season, she wouldn't be playing differently? So I'm like, that maybe that was shady for no reason, but now it's already said. On this season, oh, screen's gone. There we go. We're back. On this season, Rachel's style of gameplay is really working. Anybody that won HOH this week wouldn't put her up. I don't think there was not a single person that would have put her up. Um, this week we had 3 out of 5 people go out on the block. Rachel was not one of them. She also is doing the incredible work of like subtly throwing other people under the bus and making it seem like she's the most trustworthy. She had a really good damage control conversation with Andrew to the point where I don't think if Andrew went HOH, he would put up Rachel. I think he would probably target, I mean, he would for sure target Zoe, but I think the nominations would be Zoe and Isaiah first and foremost. Um, she's got a great relationship with Zoe, who plans on taking her to 3, I believe, right now. Isaiah plans on taking her to 2. Adrian just used the veto on her in the double, and I think would, especially after Zoe putting him up this week, would plan to go further with Rachel. She's kind of killing it. The thing that has yet to be seen that I really need to see from her is her be like, hey, everyone, this is the game that I played. Here's the connections that I had. And like, she really has to sell it and convince it because it is not overtly obvious. Um, so that's what I need to see from her. There's been no reason to see it yet. I am really impressed with what she's doing. So for all of those reasons, I will be staying at my 8. In
I
order
will
to go up to a 9, I really think you have to be like controlling this, really kind of like have shit on lock at this point. And that's not what I'm seeing. But I do think she's just solidly playing the best. So it's an 8.
I will be staying at my 8 as well. I agree with you on the fact that whoever came to power this week, she would have been safe. And I think she is probably one of the 2 most likely winners at this point. And at the final 5, that's going to be like the odds of her and Zoe both being evicted. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't even say it, but the odds of that happening before the final 2, I think, are so low, and I feel like she is the one that's likely to get there. So,
Trista. Oh,
Lista,
wait, Graph.
you can start. Just go.
Trista. Um, I am going to cut to the chase. I'm going to get the score out of the way. It is a
Eight
1.
and
It's a
what?
1. For me, here's the thing. This has been like, I've been thrilled for Walt Trista survives week by week to keep inching that score up, right? Um, because so long as she's here, she could win. The thing is, when we look at it at face value, this week, she was on the block as the target, didn't campaign, had no shot at staying. Anyone else that's been in that position, I've given a 1 to. So
I know, I'm just kidding.
so that's where I'm at. It's no shade to Trista. Trista robbed, maybe not, but the queen, absolutely. I am so thrilled that Trista made it as far as she did, especially when we had the possibility of losing her week 2 to 3. Like this is, I've had such a just a joyous time having Trista talk in her diary room and the game that she did play. winning comps, like literally iconic. But for this week, it it is a one.
Could be a one for me too. For all the same reasons. But I loved having Trista here. Great season. I think she was nominated 8 times, right?
Made the podium. Yep, eight nominations.
Could have made it 9 to be a cat with 9 lives, but cat with 8 lives. Oh,
Oh,
at least she got her 6 from me.
finally, Zoe. Um, Zoe did not have a 3 last week. Zoe had a 4 last week. Um,
Hmm.
Zoe is a very tricky case for me, in all honesty, this week. This week, she was the HOH. She put up Andrew as the target. Andrew won the veto. Truth be told, I'm going to say it. I don't hate that outcome for her. I think Trista going here is actually, in my opinion, best case scenario for her. The only thing that sucked was the fact that she did have to put up Adrian. And I don't think, I think she handled it as well as she could, actually. Um, the reason why I say that is, and I say that as, to be clear, someone that knows the full scope of, like, someone that has the benefit of looking at everyone's chats, having planned the competitions to come, so on and so forth. My gut tells me that Andrew's veto streak has come to an end. So unless Andrew wins the next HOH competition, I think that there are far more people that are apt and ready for these season trivia competitions, specifically Final Five. Um, I know that Isaiah has been studying his days, and he's someone that's been in the fandom. I know Zoe is literally currently being trained by one Sean Bierman. Um, that's not a joke. Um,
I would
so
never think you were joking about that, to be clear.
uh, um, so I do think that the two of them are probably the favorites going into the final five in terms of winning the veto, which at this point is the vetoes are more important than HOHs at this point. Um, so that's where I'm looking. I do think her odds of winning some of these endgame competitions are strong. Um, the only reason I'm not going to be up as high as I am for Rachel is I do think that there is a higher probability that Zoe gets cut before the end than Rachel. With that said, Zoe had a very strong HOH. I thought this was a great bounce back from the horrendous move that she made before the double,
Which
but
we
that
won't
worked
talk
out
about.
slightly because Justin went home in the double. Um, so all in all, I will definitely be moving up to the green sections again. She's got a great shot to win if she's in the end. Quite honestly, is the front runner, and I don't think anyone is talking about her as the front runner, which I think is kind of crazy. Um, so for all those reasons, I'll be raising my score. I'm gonna give her the 7 again. Um, I think she's solidly playing well. I think she deserves it. And the fact that like Isaiah and Rachel, who are, I mean, Andrew is also a likely contender to win HOH, but like realistically, no shade, Adrian. Adrian is not winning HOH or veto. So when you look at the other three competitors, the fact that two of them wouldn't want to target Zoe is strong enough for me to give her that 7. So it'll be 7 from me.
I go to the 8, actually.
Very nice.
I think based on everything you said, plus, I think she has the best shot right now to comp out to the end with all of these competitions and how well she's done. Um, how well she knows her trivia. Like, I think we could definitely see it from her. I mean, I'm just thinking about the what competition was it that she did? It was
Was it
OTEV.
OTEV?
Yeah, she made a mistake in OTEV, but she did really well and was very fast. So I hope for her. I would love to see Zoe win the season. So I'm rooting for her for sure. 8 from me. Alrighty.
And that's that. we are heading into the final five. Um, my gut tells me that Andrew will leave this. Andrew needs to win the HOH in order to not go home. I don't think that Andrew will be winning this veto. Um, Obviously for Team Scott, I'm manifesting a Rachel Lefko win, but
It's so fun because I'm manifesting a Zoe win.
yeah, and I'm also manifesting a Zoe win for the good of everything on this earth. Um,
All right, I'm tired. It's time
Me too. That's
to
that.
finish up the season. That's what it's time for.
Wrap it up. Goodbye.